Okay, I wanted to make a quick video on my snake racks. For those of you who aren't familiar with snake racks, this may seem like a cruel way to keep snakes, but it really isn't. Now, I don't recommend it for lots of snakes, like snakes that love to climb. Obviously, these tubs don't work, but for sand boas, they are absolutely perfect. You can, all they do is bury, here we go. Here's my, if you can see her, there she is. There's part of her head. All they do all day long is bury themselves in the sand. And this snake is, well, that's, sorry, Breck. Oh, and here she is. Hi. Thank you very much. I'm really sorry. So she's pretty long. Well, I'll pull her all the way out. Sorry, I'm really sorry, Breck. Oh, come here, I'm doing this one-handed. So that's Breck. Now in the back, okay, so anyways, so in the back of these tubs, they have heat, and so I keep it a certain temperature with these thermostats, and I keep them a certain, heat. Right now, let's peek on her. I have a pregnant snake, and I'm not going to open it too much. I don't want to bug her too much. She is pregnant, and so she's laying on top of the heat. That's something that pregnant sand boas do anyways. They come to the surface when they're pregnant, and they stay on top of the surface, on top of the heat. And it's called laying on the heat. So that's what she's doing right now. That's Saffron. Her husband is over here, Yuki. His cage is a little bit wet right now because hi buddy. This is Yuki. He's gonna be the daddy. And his cage is a tiny bit wet because I spilled some of his water, but it's drying out. But wet sand kind of smells a little bit. But yes, and then this snake I have out, he actually he's not in a tub, because this particular snake, his personality, actually, I wanted to have one snake that was out and about that I could actually see, and I do see him sometimes. Like right now, I see him. Hi, Ziv. He climbs. He's actually an active snake. He climbs. He does, he loves spending time on that plant. He lays with his head out like this. He actually uses a hide instead of, he buries himself a lot, but he likes to spend time in a hide too. Whereas these snakes just pretty much, oh, you're just hanging out on the heat. This is Calyx. Hey, buddy. But most of the time, you're out too. And I need a cleaner cage. Here, I'll just grab that right now. Oh wait, was it a shadow? No. There we go. Their cages do need to be, I need to redo the sand in all of their cages. So here we have, this is Myrick, and you can see, you can't even see him. Oh, there's his nose. So that's what they do pretty much, I want to say 90% of the time. They're, okay, maybe 80% of the time. They're underneath the sand. And so it's okay. And they have heat, and they don't need light. There's Ichon in the back there. In the back is where the heat is again. These racks are actually a little bit different. They have it's called back heat, where the heat is on the back of the rack, whereas my other racks have belly heat, which is heat on the bottom, just the back part of the bottom, because you want to be able to get the snake needs to be able to decide whether he, she wants to be hot, hot or not. And so you have to give them, you have to give them a decision. And that is how snakes get loose, is if you don't push them. I push them all the way until the back touches. And that's something that people have done before. My sister has done it before, showing people snakes, and she's left them. She showed somebody this snake, and she left it open not that much, this much, but the snake could have totally pushed through, even though she's a big one. She could have pushed through, and nope, Rhea is not going to be seen. And so, yeah, and actually, speaking of Rhea, she has an upper respiratory infection right now, and so I am keeping her, I'm not touching her, and then touching the other snakes or anything like that. But I'm going to take her to the vet. I'm going to make an appointment to the vet, and hopefully I can vlog part of it. I think I said that the last vet appointment, but I'll try again. And yeah, so anyway, so I just wanted to shout out to everybody that my 14 snakes are healthy and happy. This is a baby rack for juvenile babies. First, when the babies are born, you separate them from the mom, and they go in here for until they first shed. And then, but here, I'm actually going to switch it to paper towels. It's got sand in it right now, but it's gonna have paper towels, and so they can hide in there, and you keep the paper towels moist. And then all the snakes will shed eventually, and then, or you take them out one by one. You say, oh, this one shed, so I'll put you in a container. And then once they're all here, and these individual slots, and they're tiny, they're not that big, but they're pretty small snakes. And then I have little Dixie cups not Dixie cups, but they're little water cups that I put right here. The hot end is in the back, so I keep the water right here. And so anyway, so then I put them in these individual racks, and I feed them once they're finished shedding. They get their first feed, and then I feed them, and wait a week, feed them again, wait a week, feed them again. And then I make sure that they're all eating. If some have trouble eating, I deal with it, because sometimes some snakes don't want to eat at first. And so you kind of have to work with them a little bit, trying different tricks and stuff like that. And so yeah, he's just laying there funny. Hi, Ziv. So yeah, so I would keep opening these up and showing you, but I've already done a snake tour, and so I don't need to do another one. Oh, her water dish needs to be cleaned. Oh, this is Yawen. She's actually my favorite morph snake. As far as favorite snakes, I have to say Yuki is my favorite, because he was the first one I got, and he's just super cool. And he's called a snow, and Yawen is called a snow splash. You can't, well, I guess I'll show you the rest of her body. Yawen, can I dig you up? Well, you can see partly that she's got white, she's splashed a little bit. See how she's got white splashed on her, oh, she's partially under the water dish. I don't want to drag her up, but you can see how she's got white on part of her, and then she's kind of mismatched, kind of like a paint horse or a spotted dog. she has white in different parts of her. Mostly her her back part of her is white, with different spots. Anyways, her name is Yawen, and that means cloud patterns, and so I thought that name fit her well. But anyways, so these, yes, are my racks. Feeling a little like that's going to help if I fall. Just feeling dizzy. When I bend down, I have POTS, and I stand back up, and I feel dizzy. Sometimes I faint. That's never a good thing. So, yeah, so these are my racks. This is just a short rack video, and the ones, oh, that one has, the ones that have name tags are the ones that had things in them. This one used to have Mason in it, and then I always clean out everything, sanitize it between each new snake. I sanitize the tub, and they get fresh sand. Come on, this Masons won't. There we go. So these have actually already been sanitized. I just forgot that to take the tag off. But this one actually is supposed to be on the bottom. This tub is filled with newspaper, and that's if the snake is sick, and they have like a wound or anything, and you don't want sand to stick to it. And so I'm thinking about, actually, now that I'm saying that out loud, that I might put, Rhea's just so comfortable in her thing. I can tell she has a respiratory infection because she gets sand stuck to the sides of her mouth and to her nose where moisture is. And, but I feel like they just like the sand better, and I clean off her nose. But she's not eating. She hasn't eaten in 2 weeks, which is not a long time. They can go literally months without eating, and they're okay. So 2 weeks is not that big of a deal. But yeah, so, okay, I know I've said that like a bunch of times. So far, it's video's 12 minutes, 42, 3, 4, 5 seconds. And I'll go post it right now. But, yeah, so these are my racks for my 14 Kenyan sand boas. Soon to be a lot more. I'll be able to film when Saffron has her babies, and they'll be in here, and then here. So yeah, and then their waters are filled. Keep them topped off. They eat once a week. They're like this one, you can see there's a little sand at the bottom of the water dish, so I obviously need to clean them out a little bit, but the top of the water dish is where there isn't sand is clean, so they're not drinking up sand. They don't drink from the bottom of their dish. So that just needs to be done eventually, but right now it's okay, but I'll do that maybe later this week. So yeah, my sand boas, Kenyan sand boas, they make great beginner pets. You don't need to have them in a rack. You can have them if you just want one pet, you can just have one in a cage like this. And he's a baby, but males stay small. So you can keep males in a 10 or I forget, I think it's a 10-gallon tank. And maybe 20-gallon. They don't need much room because they actually get overwhelmed if they're in too much room and they won't eat. So so they need kind of tight, small spaces, and but you want them to be able to stretch out their whole. You want them to be able to do what's called an L shape. You want to be able them to start here, there, and be able to make an L in the corners. And if they do, then your cage is big enough if they make an L. But But yeah, okay, this video ended up longer than I thought, so I'll be quiet. And then, oh, Sullivan's way over there, but he's not poking his head out. So, and then my hippos. All right, and then this is all in my dad's so awesome. This is in his workspace, and I won't look at his work, but looks like these need to be put away. But I think I'll just do that. But yeah, so he's awesome to let me do that. And then my mom is awesome to let me have the snakes in her hallway. There used to be a pretty decorative thing there, table, and then now there's a bunch of black snake racks. But she says that she and my dad have both said that they don't even look at the racks. There's like an invisible wall between the racks and them, so they don't even see them. So that's good. So, okay. Yeah, and actually most people don't even know they're here. Our house cleaner, who comes once a week, has a 4 or 5-year-old, maybe 3 or 4-year-old son. And I always worry about kids wanting to pull these out, but they're kind of heavy because of the sand. And so, but if they really worked on it, they could get out. Who's in here? Oh, Azaran, hi. And so anyways, so I just worry that someday some little kid will open them up, but I just have to worry about my sister for now. So, okay, and she's turned 22 this year. Okay. All right, everybody. So thank you for watching my video. And I will video again. I will do it again. I'll do it again. All right, bye. I forgot. I just realized. I've shown these rocks in another video, but I like to re-say stuff in my videos because I don't know what I say. These rocks were painted for me by my mom's really good friend, Charity Rocks 17 DM. So they were made, last year. Crazy that it's the new year. And so yeah, so she made these especially for me, and I really like them. I try to keep them like this. I'm particular, OCD, where everything is. Boom. That's how they're supposed to be, kind of like that. Okay, all right, I'm done now.